Well, hello and welcome to the channel. My name's Johnny and you're watching Hillbilly Modeling. So we've got a new kit to build. Well, it's not all that new, but we'll take a look at it. As a matter of fact, one of you guys out there told me, he said, when are you going to build that kit? And I got to thinking about it. I was like, well, you know, I'd really like to build it now. So, so let's do that. So this is what we're going to be doing. This is a Tamiya kit. Of course, you've seen the thumbnail, so you already know what it is. Is it Tamiya or Tamiya? I think actually it's supposed to be Tamiya, but this is what we're going to be doing. So this is the Russian heavy tank, JS-2, model 1944. And it is in 1/35th scale. Sorry about the glare there. And this is kit number 35289. 35289. So, JS Joseph Stalin 2. And this is a rather large tank. Quick look around the box here. As you can see on this side of the box right here, it does show us that we have 4 different marking options there. Might be more in the decals or decals. We'll get into that. And we've already seen the end of the box. I think it's the same on both sides there. And of course, we do have actual pictures of the model assembled, as you can see here. And this kit came out, what's the copyright on this? Normally it's right here. I'm looking for it. Why am I looking for it? I should be, oh, here it is, 2007. So you're probably thinking, you should have been better prepared for that. But yeah, 2007. And this particular kit was produced in the Philippines. Yeah, so very nice. So, oh, and there's nothing on the back. So let's go ahead and jump down on the bench here and take a look at what's in the box. Okay, so I had to zoom out to get this box in because it is rather large, as you can see. We're going to go ahead and take the top off just to take a look and see what's all on the inside. So immediately I can see these rubber tracks, which I hate. We'll just pull those up out of the way. So we do have that track option, so that's there. Now, Tamiya models, as you know, are fairly simplistic as far as when it comes to parts counts. Oh, this is nice. We do have link and length style tracks, and it does appear to have a jig for building up our track on it. That's nice. And as you can see, Tamiya's done a good job in packaging here, and these 2 sprues are apparently duplicates, so we have 2 of those. And of course we have the hull, our lower hull, that is packaged separately. And we do have a little bit of photo etch and our polycaps, and I don't know what this card is here. We're going to have to tear into that and see, and some rope and stuff. And then of course we got our instructions here. Where's our decals at? Maybe that's what that's in the oh, there we go. And decals and the Tamiya tip sheet, as you can see there, and instructions. Okay, let's break all this down. So, if you're not familiar with Tamiya or Tamiya kits, I'm still not quite sure which way we're supposed to say. I think it's really supposed to be Tamiya, but it doesn't sound, you know, dramatic enough for me. I like Tamiya, like in, you know, watching Shogun or something like that. It'd be, hey, Tamiya, you know? So, so anyway, they do put in their tech tips and show you tools and aids that will help you to put this together, as well as instructions on how to holding side cutter, directions shown, blah, 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 how to cut and trim parts, and drilling and all those other things, using cement. And then on the back side, we do have more how to trim and cut and take care of your parts and removing chrome for the contact areas there, and painting as well. So, and this is really, really good, especially for beginners, because if you've never built a model before, or you've kind of stuck your toes in the water, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of guidance, and I really appreciate the fact that Tamiya, or Tamiya, whoever you are, has put these in their kits. So that's very nice. So we'll take a quick look at our instructions. We're not going to go tremendously in depth because we're going to do that during the build. But, you know, if there's anything in the instructions that you'd like to see more of, feel free to pause the video. So we have our graphics here. Russian heavy tank, model 1944. It's a ChKZ, which I do not know what that means. Is that project number or something? The Russians were very big on doing that. And we have our JS-2, Joseph Stalin -2, 1944. And we do have a history here, which I won't read to you, but I will kind of zoom in on the English side there. And if you guys want to read it, you can go ahead and pause it on the video. And I believe, yeah. Okay, that's good. So that's page 1, which is our front cover. Now this is one of those multi-fold instruction sheets, which we have come to know and love from Tamiya. So you have your cautions and precautions and all that, and you should read these things before you get into assembly. And we have required paints. So that's kind of our, and it only lists, as you can see right there, Tamiya paints, or Tamiya paints. So next up is recommended tools, which, of course, if you've been building models for a little while, you have your own little set of tools. If not, this is a good place to start so that you know what to collect. And then we go straight into step 1, which is simply the assembly of idlers and drive sprockets and road wheels and all that, and then also track sections. Oh, no. That's not track sections. That's looks like the front plate, maybe? Well, we'll move along. Yeah, front and rear plate, probably. So laying this down, you can see the buildup of our hull, and that's a bathtub-style hull there. And our road wheel arms, assembly there. And we also get into alignment. So apparently we have an alignment tool there to make sure that our road wheel arms are all level. That's good. And step 4, some of the hull assembly accessories such as fuel tanks and toolboxes. And then we get the assembly of our road wheels. And Russian tanks have these unique devices here that were designed to clean out all the mud and earth and stuff that would get packed in to the drive sprocket hubs. So that's very unique. However, we'll talk about that during assembly, but I think we'll leave those off so that they don't interfere with us in our final preparation and painting and all that stuff. So we'll talk about that later. And then we do have jigs or a jig for doing the sag for our track assembly here. And as you can see, we do have what they think is all of the links that we're going to need. However, we'll see we'll see how that works out. Sometimes it's spot on, sometimes it's not, and you may have to kind of leave a link or so out. These are the ladder type links. Some of them don't have the every other one I think has the guide horn on it, so that's something to watch out for, because when we go to build it, if the track is what am I trying to say here? Sometimes there are more links being shown than what the surface area is going to require. So let's see how that works out. And moving on, we do have the rubber band style tracks here, and they tell us how to put that together. Apparently, the belt, or they call them belt type tracks, that they can be glued using plastic cement. So this is the newer material. So if you didn't want to, fool with putting tracks together like this, then you can use those belt type tracks. And then we get into the build up of the upper hull sections here. And on with the upper hull, and step 11 here, we've got our lights, tow cable, and the joining of our upper and lower hull, and they show us how to put on our tow cable. Then we get into the buildup of the gun there, as well as the turret. And then we have all of our hatches and stuff here for our turret. Very easy to read. Shouldn't have any issues with that. We do have turret parts, such as our grab handles here. They do tell us to remove these little pieces on the ends, which is coming from the molding process there, which normally they don't do that, so that's interesting. And then we simply put the turret onto the hull, and then we have our figures, and then we can get into our painting and marking. And so let's see, this is one, which I really like. I really like how that looks. We could really do something with that with our painting and weathering. One, and then two here, and 13, 113, and 4 to 4. So that's the 4 that they showed us on the box. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now we do have additional instructions here on the back. Talking about painting and applying decals, and all this is very useful information, and it would absolutely be worth your time to read it. You might learn something. So those are instructions. So now we'll get into looking at our parts. Now, Tamiya, they do this thing with staples quite often. This is the only one I want to open like this. Just be careful that you don't have any staples that scratch or cause any issues with your parts there. And this is the bathtub style hull, as you can see there. And it is rather long. We're looking at let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches. Yeah, that's 7 inches long, just for the hull, and 2 inches wide. So we do have a lot of nice detail here. You can see the bolt detail there. And Tamiya is really good about the way they have designed their kits to get the most out of a single piece. As you can see there, we do have a couple of little things there to sand off there from the injection mold process, but the part does look really, really good. That's nice. And if you've never built a Tamiya kit before, oh, look at this. This is really nice. So these tanks were really built roughly. I mean, they did the minimum that they needed to do to get these things out the door to fight the war. And you can see here, we do have all of that pretty much torch cut detail right there. Really rough cut, unfinished. It's not nice and smooth like you'll see on modern vehicles here, and so it's really, really roughly done. And they have actually reproduced that here. And that's nice to see. Because normally we have to do that ourselves to make those parts look more realistic. And they've gone ahead and molded that right in. So that looks really good. I'm impressed. Okay, so that's their lower bathtub hull. Nothing more to see there. So this is sprue A, and we have 2 of these. We only need to look at one. And we have grab handles there, and we have our hub caps here for the road wheel hubs. And you can see the road wheel detail there. Very nicely done. We've got some track segments here, which are probably the spare tracks, because you can see we have the little blocks and bolt detail there, where it's bolted up to the chassis, or the hull. And we do have parts for our gun. It is a 2-piece barrel, but that's easily dealt with. And we have brackets there for our external fuel cans, and a nice toe shackle. Look at that. And then drive sprocket with really nice bolt detail. I like that. And our drive sprockets there, and idlers. And these are the, I forget what you call them. These are the pieces that stick out of the side of the hull for our return rollers or support rollers here. And then we do have the tow cable ends there, and a lot of road wheel arms. So very nice. And I don't know that we need to replace these grab handles. It's going to go around the turret and other areas of the tank. They appear to look pretty much in scale, so we'll probably just use these. I mean, we could always replace those with wire, but I don't see where that would get us an advantage in this particular case. We could just scrape these down and use those. They look nice. And also, this right here is that alignment bar for aligning all of our road wheel arms. So it's nice that Tamiya has put that in there for us. And you can see the back side of our road wheel sets there. Nicely done. Even the bolts on the inside of our drive sprockets there. See we got the bolts in there. Yeah. Nicely done. I'm actually really impressed. This is a 2007 copyright kit. So we have 2 of those sprues. Okay, so next up is our B sprue here. And we have the bottom section of our turret and the upper section of the turret, as well as our rear deck here. And you can see all the bolt detail and stuff. If I can get the light just right so you can see those details there. Very nice. The front portion of the turret as well. Nice cast texturing there. Yeah, looks nice. And I don't know if this is the rear plate or the breastplate, but it's got some nice texturing going on there as well. Now you can always enhance this stuff, but we also have some weld seams I can see. And these are the mounts for our spare track sections. And then we have the forward top section of our hull. And we also have, as you can see there, if I can get it just right, those oxyacetylene weld cuts right there. Weld cuts. Cuts. No weld. Mostly cut. Right there on the bow section there of the hull. Those look really nice. So they've actually done a lot of research into making all this. And look at that triple weld seam right there. That is really nice. Really nice. Nice work. And the fenders are all molded on, so that's going to really make things a lot easier in assembly. However, it might be somewhat of a issue if you want to bend things up. So, something to think about. And talking about that cutting, weld cutting, look at that. Look at those lines right there on that rough cut armor. Those are really nice. Okay. Very nice. I haven't really looked at this yet, but you can see all the texture around the side of the cast section of the turret. Yeah. Really does look good. I'm surprised. I am impressed. And that is sprue B. Yep, sprue B. So next up is sprue C. And I do apologize because this plastic is kind of a dark green. Well, you know, a medium green or whatever. It's just with the light, sometimes it's hard to see all the detail. So we have here what appears to be the commander's cupola. We have some light texturing there. If you can see it. Oh, I'm probably getting out of focus there. And then we do have some hatches here, and they are marked, curiously enough, left and right. I don't know that that's it, a cover. Well, I guess we'll see when we go to build it. Very nice detail. We have some spare track sections there. More hull detail there. And fenders with hinge detail. Nicely done. And we do have a couple of figures that come in this kit. They're actually pretty decent, as you can see there. Uniform detail, not bad. Do have a seam line here from the mold to clean up. That's probably the most flash I have seen on this entire kit so far. We do have the same issue here with the standing figure. Of course, I got him upside down. But, yeah, we kind of come to expect that, I guess. Nice facial details there. Get it where you can see it. Yeah, nice. Now, these are the bottom sections of the sponsons. We have our rear armor plate here. Covers our engine section. And our mantlet right there. Don't know what these are for, but we'll find out when we go to build it. Hatch detail. Even have some underside areas here, probably latches or whatever for our hatch. I think that goes into our commander's cupola. And you can see the back side of the figures here. I'm not very good at painting figures, but we're going to give it a shot. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah, that's sprue C. So next up are our link and length type tracks. And we have two identical sprues of these. We'll just look at one. And I will say this. This must be in an additional. Maybe not originally in the kit because the plastic, the polystyrene, is a different shade. Look at that. It's a different color. Just something that I noticed. Got a lighter green there for the tracks than for the rest of the parts. Huh. But we're going to look at our detail here. And curiously enough, let me see. Where's my pointer? I need a pointer. Here we go. Show you the detail on these tracks. For the JS-2, and I'm not sure about the previous version, but these links here, as you can see, is like halves, and then you got a solid track length there. You can see where the split is there. So these, it's a left and a right, and then you got a full length, and then a left and a right, and a full length. Interesting. The full length has our guide horns on it. See there? And then you can see where it's split there on the track. And just looking at this, we do have some really shallow ejector pin marks here, which should flush sand out really nice. I mean, you can fill these if you like, but there's a couple of them right there that might actually be proud of the part. Probably just some light sanding. Might just be able to do some scraping, you know, and kind of clean those out without having too much trouble. And apparently all those ejector pin marks are on the back sides. Might be best to go through and clean all that up while it's still on the sprue before we start pulling everything off and assembling it. And then we do have our jig here, designed to give us that Russian track sag. So that's very wavy. That's nice. That's nice. I'm glad that they have included these jigs. Not only this one, but the ones also for the alignment of our road wheel arms. Very nice. So you do get two of these sprues, and it doesn't have a sprue number on it that I can see anywhere. But all in all, I mean, the tracks are very, very clean, so shouldn't be too much trouble to take care of these and get our tracks all built up. So next we do have all of these little parts here. Get this staple out of the way there. And another one there. There we go. So we have a lot of polycaps here in this kit. Which I imagine these are probably road wheel arms. And I don't know what these are for. They're in a different color. Gray, green kind of color there. There's 8 of them. Then we have the larger ones, which I imagine are our drive sprockets and idlers there. Or maybe something to do with the gun. And they do give us some rope here for our tow cable. I might try to use that this time. I normally like to replace that with something. And then we do have photo etch. And I believe this card that's in here is just a cardboard piece to keep the photo etch screens there from getting bent up in the kit. And yeah, so that's nice. So that's all the photo etch you have to deal with if you buy this kit. So if you don't like photo etch, this is very, very, very minimal. So we get 2 screens. That's it. So, all right. So that's what we got there. And last but not least is our band type, or whatever they called it, tracks. And you guys have seen these in Tamiya kits for ages. So the detail is basically there. I do like the plastic ones better. You know, the link and length type. I will always prefer that over these type of tracks. So, but if you don't want to fool with that kind of thing with your model, then you can go ahead and use these tracks here. And it's got pretty much the same detail, and the overall look of the tracks are the same as its plastic counterpart. The only thing that you need to worry about is that sometimes when these tracks get older, they may kind of cup. I don't know how long you guys keep your models, but yeah. And also, if you have a lot of tension on them, when you bend them around the idlers and stuff, they may kind of sink and pull and not look necessarily like the real thing. But they are included in the kit, and it does have a copyright there of 2007. So it came out with everything else. So there they are. I don't plan on using them, but if I really screw up the regular the link and length tracks, then this would be an alternative. If you didn't want to buy tracks that are upgrades, that's the word I'm looking for. The upgrade type stuff, whatever. Aftermarket. Yeah, that's it. Aftermarket. And last but not least, we do have our decals or decals. And I just want to check and see. We have our 1, 2, 3, 4 different vehicle markings, and that is it. That's all there is to it. Now, these are fairly typical of Tamiya type or Tamiya type decals or decals. And as you can see, they are just a little bit thick, but I don't normally have any trouble with these decals here from Tamiya. And they do have a kind of a satin or a matte look to them, which is good. Don't like glossy decals at all, on military vehicles especially. I really like the Russian bear with the star. We may do that. Nice. So these are water slide type decals, you know, the ones that you dip into the water and let them soak a little bit and let them absorb the water and loosen up and slide them off onto the model itself. So, decals. All right, so that's the kit in essence, and that is quite a lot of polystyrene there for a Tamiya kit. Normally they don't have this much, but it's really not that bad because 2 of those screws are tracks, minus our rubber band style tracks, which I do not intend to use at all. I don't like them. but I have done them in the past. So yeah, that's the kit, and it has really great detail, and it's not overly cumbersome with the parts count. If you guys don't particularly like models that kind of drag you down in the build process. Now, I love the build process, so I'm all about that. The more parts, the merrier for me. But if you don't like that, that's fine, because this Tamiya kit here, I mean, it has a sufficient number of parts, you know, but it's not overwhelming. So, and it looks to be a great representation of the vehicle itself, especially those weld seams and those cut sections there on the bow of the hull, as well as around the drive sprocket area or the final drive areas. And you know, they did do their homework there with the weld seams, so that's really nice to have. And we do have those little special jigs in there for helping us assemble not only the track swag, you know, get a little swag in your track. So, but we also have those alignment bars for the road wheel arms, which is always kind of a problem with track vehicles. If you get a road wheel arm that is not quite aligned with the rest of them, then you get those floating road wheels that actually are above the track. And let's face it, most of us, when we build our models, we set them on a shelf. You know, now if you're doing a diorama, that's a little bit different. But the greatest majority of our builds probably end up just sitting on a shelf, which is, well, my shelves are flat. I don't know about your shelves, but mine are flat. So, yeah. So it's nice that they included those jigs to help us get that right. So, which leads me to think that they know that there is an issue. You know, why put a jig in there if there is no issue? Something to think about. Okay, so special thanks to all my subscribers. Just because of you guys, I keep doing these videos, and I hope that you enjoyed this one. And yeah, if you're new to the channel and you're not a subscriber, I hope today I earned your subscription. So we're going to get to building this, and I guess I will see you next Friday. So you guys stay safe.